it hit me right in the stomach, like somebody punched me. But it wasn't that sharp pain on the surface. This went deeper, like inside. It was a nauseating pain. And then it started traveling up my stomach and into my chest. And I started to have that first inkling of what it was going to be. A few minutes later, the pain shot down my left arm. Not the right arm, but just down my left arm. And right then I knew, right away, I was having another heart attack. Not the first heart attack, but another heart attack. And I knew it was a heart attack because I already had one in 2010. Here I was, living by myself in this old farmhouse out in Beaver Creek Township on this 8 acres of farm property. And I was experiencing something that I thought would not happen again. And sure enough, it not only was happening again, this was worse. This was the kind of pain that you hear about when people have a heart attack, where they grab hold of their chest and they go to the ground, writhing in pain. It felt like that. It was everything I could do to get up off that old wood pine floor, that old farmhouse, open the screen door, and this was in September, late summer, and get out to my truck, which is parked by this detached garage. So, you know, in the older farmhouses, there's always a detached garage. It was everything I could do to get the strength to walk down that sidewalk, open up that truck door, and get into the center console where I knew there were the nitroglycerin tablets that the doctor had prescribed to me back in 2010. And you know, I remember him telling me, if this happens again, take one of these right away. It will give you enough relief so that you can get the help that you need. I took that tablet, and sure enough, the pain started subsiding. I was feeling better. But I got too confident. I actually took the keys, put them in the ignition, and drove myself to the hospital. Fortunately, it was only maybe 10 minutes away. It was the Sewing Medical Center in Beaver Creek. Even though it felt like it was out in the middle of nowhere, it wasn't too far out in the middle of nowhere where I could get there. And the whole drive there, I'm thinking, wow, I can't believe this is happening. There's a million things that go through your mind when you're experiencing something like this. One is unbelief. Then it's just almost like, okay, this is happening, but what am I going to do? I'm by myself. I need help. Who's going to take care of my dog? Who's going to take care of the farm? Who's going to do what's going to happen? So I got to the ER, to the hospital, parked my truck, and then by that time, that first tablet, it started wearing off. That's how bad the pain was. I had to take another one just to get out of the truck into the hospital so I could get to the ER. And that's what I did. And I walked to the main entrance, and over to my right was a hallway going down to the ER. And as I was walking down that way, all these thoughts are still racing through my mind. And one of the bigger thoughts was, I was finally living in this kind of ideal setting where I could really pursue what I love to do, and that's nature and landscape photography. You see, I've been a nature and landscape photographer ever since I was 12 years old. I grew up in Kettering, Ohio, and I would go off to the woods behind my house with my camera in hand, and that's when it really hit me, the passion and love for that art of nature photography. And here I was, I finally had the house that I really wanted, the perfect setting, the idyllic setting, and where I could fully immerse myself in my art. So I'm walking down toward the ER. The pain is starting to come back already again, even after the second nitro tablet. And I look, out of the corner of my left eye, as I'm walking down, there's these like little sitting areas for patients and families to wait outside the ER. And there's these huge prints, framed, beautiful 30 by 40 inch framed prints, one after another. Waterfalls over these sandstone cliffs, these hemlock-filled forests, these scenes of fields of sunflowers just going off with these beautiful sunsets. Beautiful images. Those are my images. This is my first time I've actually seen them installed at the hospital. I remember obviously making the sale, but I had not actually seen them. This was my first time seeing them. So going through this intense pain, of this major heart attack, I stopped. Now I finally took out my phone, stepped back, and I started taking pictures. I should have used the phone call 911, but now I was finally using it. So I said, okay, I really got to get to the ER. So I finally got to the ER. They did my vitals, they put me through the checkup, and they said, you're having a major heart attack. We need to get you into the cath lab as soon as possible. You can either stay here at Kettering, or we can transport you down to Miami Valley Hospital, which is where I went in 2010. I said, well, send me back down to the valley because that's where my cardiologist is. That's where I was before. So, and that was quite an experience riding in the back of an ambulance, and seeing the traffic go past you as you're looking out the back window of an ambulance is something you never forget. And all these thoughts are still racing through my mind. How this could happen to me now that I was actually kind of living the ideal that I had hoped for, that I had expected for myself. To live in a scene where I could completely, like I said, get completely involved with my art, what I really love, nature and landscape photography. So the next morning, they got me in the cath lab there at the Valley. And unlike 2010, this experience was actually, no matter what medicine they would give me through the IVs, the pain would not go away. I remember being on that table in the cath lab for a full hour, just writhing in pain as they were doing the procedure. They'd come up, they'd put the stents in from the artery near your groin. And it was that bad. I knew then this is worse. And so afterwards in recovery, my cardiologist came up to me and said, it was a major heart attack. Here's the scans we have of the blockage. The blockage was in the LAD artery, the lower and anterior descending artery. It was 99.9% blocked. And he said if it had not been for the two stents from the minor heart attack in 2010 that kept blood flowing, he told me, because you would have been dead. He goes, I have no doubt. You would have been dead in that farmhouse. So then it really started dawning on me that this ideal artist retreat setting situation was not such a good idea. Because it was like that blockage in my heart was almost a reflection of another blockage that was taking place in my life. That's the blockage that can happen when an artist gets so involved in his or her work, where that work may have meaning for him or her, but it doesn't have real meaning until it's connected to other people. And that's what was really missing in my life. And I think for that experience, that it symbolized that. And then all of a sudden, that's when the realization came. This is not such a good idea. So not too long after that, I sold that property, and I found a house more in a normal setting in a neighborhood, closer to family and friends. And then another unseen benefit of that was my youngest daughter. I have two daughters. They both have been living in Texas with their mom since 2008. And my youngest daughter decided when she wanted to go to high school, she wanted to come here and live with me to go to high school. So by having that home now facilitated her coming here and actually being with me. She just graduated last May. She's now a freshman at the University of Arkansas. So I wouldn't trade this 4 years of that high school experience with her for any kind of artist sense of the ideal setting and situation. Even though there's challenge, every single parent will tell you it's very challenging, right? So, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. So the other thing too is actually seeing the work. When I saw those prints on the wall, I also saw those people sitting there and looking at them and enjoying them. And I could see the effect they were having. And I knew that doing my work, doing photography, more from the intention of truly connecting and connecting in a community of people, from artists to art, to actually people appreciate it, it has an impact on them, and having it come full circle in that connection was something that was really what I should be doing, working from that intent. So, from that point forward, I've always done my work to inspire, but to also to teach, to connect, to have that full more sense of meaning and fulfillment in what I do. And to think, back on that September day in that old farmhouse, I came this close to not being able to do that at all. Thank you.